Uploading files is a common requirement in web applications. Storing files on the local server can work, but it comes with challenges: limited disk space, scalability issues, and potential security risks. That's where Amazon S3 comes in. S3 provides a scalable, secure, and highly available storage solution for handling file uploads efficiently. In this video, I'll show you how to upload assets to S3 in a Golang project using the AWS SDK. First, let's look at this app that uploads an image to the server, and we display the image gallery here. Let's try this out. When we upload an image, it immediately shows up in the gallery. This uses the local server storage for now. Let's look at the code. And this application uses the net HTTP package. First, we define some constants. This is the directory where uploaded files will be stored. Template file is the HTML file that renders the uploaded images. In the main function, we ensure that the uploads folder exists. Here, we have defined 3 APIs. This serves the home page, displaying all uploaded images. This handles image uploads via a POST request. Here, we create a file server that serves uploaded images as static files. This is internally used in the view. The server is started here. The handlers are implemented here. Now we will change this app to use S3 as the image store. AWS provides an SDK, which is an official Amazon library that allows Go developers to interact with AWS services like S3, DynamoDB, Lambda, and more. It provides a modular and efficient way to integrate AWS functionality into your Go applications. The newer V2 version of the SDK is optimized for better performance, improved ergonomics, and modularity, allowing you to include only the services you need. Let's install the AWS SDK packages. This package provides the core AWS types and helpers for authentication, configuration, and service interactions. Config loads AWS credentials and settings from environment variables or IAM roles. Finally, S3 package. It provides API operations for interacting with Amazon S3. Now that the packages are installed, let's begin with changing the image store to S3. First, we will define some global variables, and these will store our S3 bucket name, AWS region, and the directory where we'll store uploaded images. The S3 client variable will hold an instance of our AWS S3 client, which we'll initialize in a moment. Let's remove this constant as we don't need it anymore. We will fetch these variables from command line arguments. As we don't store the images locally, this code is not required. Next, we use the flag package to allow users to pass in the S3 bucket name, AWS region, and upload directory as command line arguments. This makes our app flexible and configurable. Now, we check if the required flags are provided. If not, we'll print a usage message and exit. Now, we load the AWS configuration using config.loadDefaultConfig. We pass the context. In the next argument, we pass the region in config.withRegion method. The variable S3 region was fetched from the flags. This function returns the config and an error, if any. Let's handle the error. Then, we initialize the S3 client using s3.new from config. We pass the config we just created to this method. Now our S3 client is ready. We do not need this file server. Let's remove it. Now let's make changes to upload handler. This code reads the uploaded file from the request. We now construct the file path in S3 and upload the file. Let's create S3 key using filepath.join. The first argument is the directory or prefix where the file should be stored in S3. We fetch this from command line arguments. We append the original file name of the uploaded file obtained from the HTTP request to the upload directory. Now we have the S3 key ready, we will upload the file. To do so, we call putObject on S3 client. We pass the context and then put object input parameters. This struct contains the upload parameters. Parameters include S3 bucket name, the key where the file will be stored, and the file content. This function returns object and error. If putObject fails, we log the error and return a 500 internal server error response. Let's remove this code that saves the file to the local disk. Now, our uploader is ready. Next, we will implement the home page handler. This function is responsible for listing and displaying images stored in an S3 bucket. First, we fetch the list of all images from the S3 bucket. We do so by calling s3client.listObjects v2. We pass the context. The next option is listObjects v2 input parameters. This struct requires two fields: bucket, the name of our S3 bucket; prefix. This ensures we only retrieve files stored inside the upload directory. It returns the listObject v2 output and an error. The error is handled here already. Next, instead of getting images from the files, we will get presigned image URLs. Here we created an empty slice images. In the new implementation, we will be storing the URLs of the images in it. We loop over response.contents, which contains metadata about the files. Here we will create pre-signed URLs for the images. But why do we need pre-signed URLs? Presigned URLs provide a temporary signed link that allows users to access an S3 object without making the bucket public. This URL is only valid for a limited time, after which it expires. The server generates the URL using AWS credentials, but the user does not need to authenticate to use it. First, we need to create a pre-signed client from S3 client. We call new presigned client on S3. We need to pass the S3 client as the argument. Now we create presigned URL using presigned getObject method. we pass the context. Then we pass other parameters in this structure. The field bucket requires the bucket name. And the key is the S3 key that can be found in the item. This function returns the pre-signed HTTP request and error. In case of error, we can skip to the next item. Else, we append the URL to the images slice. This slice is used in the template to render the images. Oh, there is an error in the import. We do not need this package. Let's remove it. Our code is ready. Let's try it out. To run the server, we need these flags. I am pasting the parameters here. My AWS credentials are already configured on the machine. Now, the server is running. There is already an image in the gallery from my previous execution. Let's upload an image. As soon as we upload the image, it appears on the page. We can see in the S3 bucket the images are uploaded. Let us have a look at the pre-signed URL. We can see here additional parameters are added to the URL to make it accessible. And that's it. You've now seen how to upload assets to Amazon S3 and create pre-signed URLs. We went through integrating the AWS SDK to handle uploads. This approach offloads storage from your application server, making your system more scalable and efficient. Plus, with S3's built-in security and lifecycle policies, you can better manage and protect your stored files. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you have any questions or want me to cover more AWS-related topics in Go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.